gal sitting over there with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and I think she pretty much says it all. I am the president of the Indian River County Taxpayers Association. We're an organization that has been in existence since 1957 with 55 years of community service, and we are opposed to the 750 plan. The great mission of the Taxpayers Association is to secure those principles that allow liberty to flourish, and that chief among these principles is to limit government. Our mission is to confine government to only those essential services, and in so doing, we will minimize taxation and ensure the efficient use of our tax dollars. We also have a very local focus. I personally believe that the best political activism, the best source of change is at the local level. It's, in my opinion, virtually impossible to move the federal boulder, to move federal government, the big government that it is. As we know, the Taxpayers Association is opposed to the 750. The 750 is nothing more than more bureaucracy, and it is the antithesis of limited government. It is federal intervention and control in the local decision-making, and I believe will ultimately diminish our liberties and our ability to control our own local government spending. 750 is really just one example. There is another related example, and you all appointed me to this commission. It's called SEDS. A year ago, you appointed me as a volunteer to that committee, and SEDS is a subcommittee of the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, and it is also pushing the 750. The SEDS, like 750, is a committee of volunteer members, which includes Indian River County, St. Lucie, Martin County, and Palm Beach County. And when I was appointed to the commission, I was naively under the impression that we were going to get to talk about economic development in the region, and we'd get to share some ideas with our colleagues. And of course, naively, I thought we might get to talk about the electric issue. And that's a large economic driver for this community that I think this community is well in support of. And there are two other regions in Palm Beach and in Fort Pierce that would also benefit from that. This economic driver represents about $55 million to the region, and did you think that economic driver would show up in the SEDS plan? No, it didn't. It would be one of the largest items on the SEDS plan. It didn't because SEDS, like so many bureaucracies, is staff-driven. So what does SEDS do? And I quote, "As a federally designated economic development district that receives economic development funding from the U.S. EDA, the Economic Development Administration, one of the requirements is to produce a comprehensive economic development strategy." That's a 100-page document that the committee put out that 99% of the population won't even read. That's their product. What is the EDA? Well, let me read you the mission of the EDA. The U.S. Economic Development Administration, which is the parent and funder of SEDS, their mission is to lead the federal economic development agenda. What the heck is that? The federal economic development agenda. And they plan on doing this by promoting innovation, collaboration, and competitiveness. When is the last time that you asked your government for such things? When do you look to them for innovation and competitiveness? No, get out of our way. The 750 is just another example of federally driven government bureaucracies that ultimately enslave us to big government federal control. There is nothing more, that is nothing more than a means of taking money out of your pocket and sending it to the federal government, to these federal agencies, who will then in turn redistribute it to others. And if the SEDS is any preview of this, then the money does not come back to us. From what I can see, it largely goes to the south counties, the counties to the south of us. Some might suggest that being part of the 750 gives us a seat at the table. It's not a table. It's a trough where we struggle with the scraps from federal government. It was our money in the first place. And I'll conclude with a favorite quote of mine. "No government ever voluntarily reduces itself in size. Government programs once launched never disappear. Actually, a government bureaucracy is the nearest thing to eternal life that we shall ever see on earth." A great conservative called Ronald Reagan supported that. So my advice to you, Commission, is let's get out of the 750 and let's get government off our backs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.